we go into the winners, we like to have the judges kind of give some feedback, because one of the best parts about these hacks is the opportunity to learn a little bit, especially about a new industry for some, such as travel. And for those of us also who have been in the industry for a while, there are always helpful reminders. So we're going to start just in the order of presentations, and then the judges are just going to give some quick feedback, and then we'll move into the awards. So first off, true value. Judges, who's going to jump in first? Head first.
Okay, so let me start maybe. So I mean, like the product in overall, I really like it. I think that there are like two crucial elements to that. Like one element is really that that algorithm, and that you need to be in the position to like be able to convince hotels that your algorithm is correct. And I think that this will be the most difficult part, because like, you know, they will either trust that or they don't. And this is really like the core value of the product. The second thing, which I would say is definitely remove that robot part, because bundling the product together with like expensive hardware, which is unnecessary, is probably not the best idea for the go-to-market strategy. So that would be my take on that.
So my feedback is that I liked the way you set up the problem. I mean, I do think that is a problem for an important segment of the industry. And the other piece is the data, the feedback. So how is the product actually performing, and is it actually delivering on what it's meant to deliver? So I thought that was actually a good element and tied it all together. And that was good for the way you thought about it. One of the things that I think you could think a little bit more about too is just how would you price it, and yeah, just how you would handle that.
So I actually, as a hotelier, I liked it because a loyalty program is a very expensive thing to run at a hotel. It's extremely expensive. So I've worked for major hotel company with a loyalty program that was really good, where you can convert your points to anything. And I've worked for a small hotel company where we couldn't really afford to have a loyalty program. So I think this is a great niche for the small hotels or small management companies that need a loyalty program. I liked the research that you did. I thought it was great that you guys pulled research out of the industry with your Rosewood case study on there. And I think the other thing that I would add is just continue to keep thinking about what other things you could put in the algorithm. But it was a nice job overall.
And I also thought it might be an interesting thing to think about with property managers, you know, different areas that you may not consider that have the opportunity to give that loyalty, those perks and offers that might work. Thought that was quite interesting. So next up we have fabric.
Okay, so from my perspective, first of all, I really like that, because that was one of the features which we wanted to put into Fabric. So that's why I asked about like the source code. So thanks for that. You made it real. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, and that's it, I guess, from my side.
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
It also sounds like Hotel Brain could also fit in there. You know, you can have your Slack commands or your Fabric commands, and you can have Alexa. So next up, we have the personalized itinerary team. All this paperwork.
Yeah, so I thought it was a good concept coming off of you know, a lot of where the industry's going in terms of personalization. I'm trying to figure out where the team is. I'm sorry. Yeah, there you guys are. Yeah, I think one of the things that you guys should probably look at is how much you kind of building on top of what's already there. You know, there's obviously a lot of data and a lot of information. You know, I think one of the things, just make sure that there is that benefit as opposed to kind of what is, you know, where kind of the directions are already going. So I think maybe diving a little bit further into what you're going to offer above and beyond what's with TripAdvisor, what's with Booking.com, and so on, to kind of get to that solution.
So I love that you were trying to solve a problem that you experienced personally. I thought that was great. So the budget opportunity, I think, is a great one. I don't think there's enough sites out there today that really can build you a full itinerary that says, I only have $500, what can I do? So I thought that was great. And you also hit on the fact that how many sites do you go to, right? That's a big common problem in travel is we all look at 20 sites before we book. So really that one-stop shop that really takes into consideration your budget, I thought that was a great idea. I would agree with Lou, just kind of thinking away from the focus so much on TripAdvisor and how you could make that, how do you get that data in there to solve that problem? But nice. I like the real world experience coming through on that one.
So I liked your user interface, the user interface. So it looked like you guys definitely put a lot of time into, how to make the discovery part be very user friendly. And then I also really liked the way you broke out the results with luxury and budget. I thought that was really good. I guess along the similar lines, the thing that I found the most challenging was understanding what was in it for TripAdvisor to put a tab on their page. And so I think that that might be unnecessary. It's just a little bit of thought about how this is going to make money and what kind of partnerships you would need might make it a little bit of a stronger case.
I did also like the side-by-side thing was kind of interesting, just in general. Sometimes like you're planning a day and it's sometimes good to like see side-by-side what's going to cost you and how long it's going to take. Because I always am optimistic. Sure, I can do all that stuff today. What's number 3? I've forgotten already. We had the Know Your Guest, number 4 actually. Know Your Guest team.
So I think what I liked is that you guys thought of what the biggest problem is in the industry right now, right? Which is knowing your guest, personalization, customization of data. So I like that you're spot on and what is the biggest, what do we need to solve today? I think you just needed to extend your thought process on beyond the channel manager and how you would get the rest of the guest data in there. But you're trying to solve a problem the rest of the industry is trying to solve. So I think that was a great try on your part.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It's great that you try to tackle this problem. For me, what I already asked you is the biggest challenge, and that are the legal aspects, because there are many countries with so much different regulations, and that for me, I guess that you need to figure out very smart way how you can really customize your product country by country and really be compliant with these legal regulations. That for me would be the most difficult part. Yeah.
One thing I had also mentioned in the judges room that I would almost feel like you could have gone a different direction where I would have paid more, for example, to know that the hotel wasn't full of other fitness buffs. So if I only can go to the gym at 6 a.m. like other business travelers, and this happens all the time, especially in Vegas, and you go in and there's nothing available at 6 a.m. You have to go earlier and earlier. But I'd pay more to know that only 40% of the hotel had guests that like to go to the gym at 6 a.m. Or if I was a family with kids and I knew that the pool is going to be available for my kids, maybe I'd pay $50 more a night so my kids aren't annoyed that there's 100 kids waiting on the slide. So that's how I kind of wanted to see it. Upsell me and know that I get more amenities for that price. 4C, number 5.
So from my perspective, what I really did like is that you try to tackle one single individual problem which exists, and many hotels, mainly in Europe, really are not solving that problem anyhow in sophisticated way. So that for me was really cool. That basically you picked one particular niche, if I can say so. So that was perfect. One thing which was not visible from the presentation, but since we were communicating throughout the whole weekend, if you are going to start real company, please make sure that you don't build too many features at the time, because you went technically, I believe, like a little bit beyond. And since I'm responsible for product manager, and I'm always like very cautious about like time to market, etc. I think that was the one thing where you went a bit beyond. So.
Yeah, I would, a very complete presentation, and clearly had done your research on the size and the opportunity, including pricing. I liked the user interface. I do echo the concerns about it being a little bit more loaded with information than what the problem you were focused on, but I thought it was a nice user interface and a fully working prototype. So kudos to you for that. The reporting in terms of the effectiveness, I think that's something that you guys could maybe weave into the presentation in terms of a look back and how effective the optimization was.
I think there was a lot of great ideas that you guys put out there. One of the things, obviously, if you kind of pursue this, is looking at how this impacts other systems already in the market. So there are revenue management systems that provide a lot of this logic, but I think where you guys went is try to calculate some of the stuff that hotels will enter in manually, which is kind of a great next step. And I think don't try to, again, to overdo too much, because there already is a system. You know, you're building and improving what's already there and out there. So.
And last but not least, we got Hotel Brain.
So I like this one because I'm in Vegas, and Wynn put in all these Alexa in their hotels and their competitor. And so we sit around and talk about at MGM, how are we going to do this as well? So it's definitely voice, especially we have 40,000 rooms, but especially this is for us the future. So I thought you guys did a nice job in just that your thought process is what is that next generation, right? And it's voice.
One of the things that I really appreciated, especially around user experience, was the call out that this is actually a better user experience because it is more natural, it lowers the barrier to entry. Those hoteliers that are less tech savvy, it's just an easy way for them to probably leapfrog to where they are now. And so I thought that was an excellent call out.
Yeah, I think to kind of echo that, there was a lot of good ideas, and I think what you guys need to do is focus on where the benefits are going to be. I mean, from my perspective, seeing that, I could see a revenue manager asking those questions, tweaking it, because certainly jump in and make changes during the course of the day based on the incoming information. So, look at where the product is going to be most effective and kind of build that particular thing, and not just try to, again, overload the hotel with, hey, we can do everything via voice.
Yeah, I just have this impression of like Wynn hotels, and you walk down the hallway and everyone's just yelling at Alexa. And it's like the worst experience ever. It's like, Alexa, no, not the lights. And then they like crash and fall over, and then someone breaks their leg, and then Wynn goes out of business. See? Alexa takes out a competitor. I'm going to get in trouble for that one. One other thing about Alexa too is I was at CES a couple weeks ago, and they're doing chips now for $10 for you can put Alexa in anything now. So it's not going to be long that you have a walkie-talkie that's Alexa that's in it, and you're just talking to Alexa through an earpiece. So for a maintenance member who's walking around the property, I do envision a time when there's no one at the other end of it, and it's just an Alexa earpiece to get that information. So super cool stuff. All right, now we're going to start off with the audience choice prize, and then we're going to go into the main judges prize, and we'll go from there. So we have no drum roll music. I always regret not having. Oh, there's people here. God, this is great. It's Hotel Brain. You guys voted Hotel Brain as audience choice. So you have to come up first. We don't actually have the things with us. Ironically, you guys win headphones. It's kind of funny, actually. But come on up real quick. Who else sent me those photos? HEDNA, someone from HEDNA, and someone from SnapShot. Anybody? Anybody Bueller? I mean, we'll just be in the pictures, but. Right? You know, congratulations. Thank you. So in the judges' room, we had a little bit of an additional prize give from John Kim, the CEO of the president of HomeAway. Right? Is it president? It's like confusing when it's like this. But John Kim has graciously added an extra $800 to our prize package, and I'm right in saying that since this is right. Just want to make sure I heard this is what's happening. So the way it's going to work, we have a grand prize winner. Is this right? Well, that's more though. But whatever it is, we'll figure it out. So what does that even come out to? So is that exactly what I said? Okay. I hope so. And if I'm wrong, it's going to be more money. So that will not be the problem. So we have top 3 prizes. We're going to have a grand prize winner. Since we had 6 prizes, and we're not going to do a winner per challenge, and we felt like it actually worked out that we had the right mix of prizes. So we're going to have 3 runner-up prizes of $100, and then we're going to have 3 big prizes at $1,000, $500, and $500. So it's more all around. So our 3 runners-up are the personalized itinerary, know your guest, and fabric. So you're getting $100. And I know I'm coming out for drinks with all y'all after this because that's what I want to do. So bring that money. But I don't have the money on me, so it's kind of like it's kind of awkward because I'll be like, oh, here's my credit card. The 3rd runner-up is True Value. So come on up, True Value team, come on up. I also get really confused that like True Value is the hardware store, so I keep having like flashbacks to wheelbarrows. I'm gonna come in the middle. Come on this way. Yeah. Sweet. Thanks, guys. And the way it's going to work is please don't disappear. So those of you, well, everybody's going to have prize money, but I want to make sure I got everyone's email correct. So make sure you come through me first because I want to make sure we do this correctly because Eventbrite sometimes has weird things that happen. So the second prize goes to Hotel Brain, which means that the first prize goes to 4C because that's obvious. So 4C is our grand prize winner for the weekend. So you guys are getting $1,000. Congratulations. I know you guys had super team happy hour, and I will vouch for alcohol in creating a strong team because they stayed. And Hotel Brain will get $500 as well. So come on up again, 4C and Hotel Brain. We're going to do 2 more pictures, but will you bring your Alexa up for Hotel Brain? Where is she at? I will do 4C first. Yeah. Congratulations, everybody. And then just being you again.
No,
and Alexa. Congratulations, everybody. So I'm really appreciative of HomeAway for making everybody a winner. That's awesome. It's always really interesting to do these hackathons because you always see a range of ideas and approaches. So I was really happy to see voice come into play and data. It's about time that we really focus on all this data we have. It's not enough just to have it, but we have to start analyzing it. So the voice aspect and the data aspect, super pleased to see that. remember that tomorrow night at 5:30 p.m. at Mohawk, we have a kickoff event. And for the Audience Choice Prize, we're going to have a moment there around 7 o'clock-ish. We're going to have kind of another presentation, just words after words, right? And everyone's invited. So please try to make your way to the Mohawk tomorrow night. It's going to be a lot of fun. Am I missing anything else? What am I missing? Oh, yes. Here, you're much better explaining that part.
So thanks again, everybody, for coming out. So as Nick mentioned the other day, for the top 3 participants, winners, you guys are invited to our conference, the HEDNA conference, to present to all of the hoteliers and all the vendors that are there. So, and as part of that, again, there is an additional audience prize for everybody at HEDNA, I believe. We're at 300 some odd people, 325 or so, that are going to be attending. So obviously it's a great opportunity. You guys can meet them, before, especially tomorrow night, and then on Wednesday, and then Wednesday evening, we're going to have the award ceremony for the audience prize, which are 250,000 IHG points. So thank you.
Again, I'm available for trips around the world. If you need some companionship. Oh, okay, I'm really tired. Thank you guys so much. We're going to hang out a little bit. Please come see me. I'm going to have a sign up. So if come team by team, I'm going to be up here. I want to make sure to get everybody's emails. Thank you again. Read tnooz.com every day. We try our best to provide you with the best insights that we can about the travel and hospitality industries. Thank you so much for spending your weekend with us.